All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Josh Weinstein coming at you with the magnificent Mr. Peyton Gunter with us. And today, well, they got it. It's up here somewhere. But
We'll get it right after sometimes. Yeah.
Today we have a very special guest. She's been on the road with us a lot, actually, working with us a lot with preview models. She is from season 19 of America's Next Top Model. She's a model, an actress, the lovely Miss Britanny Brown, everybody.
Woo!
Britanny, good to have you. Good to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, I come with supplying my own pump-up music.
That's great. I love it. Raising the roof. Raising the roof. Oh, you know what I have noticed is that Britanny does like a little bit of older music. Like,
I have parents that were stuck in the 80s. What can I say? Pat Benatar and Duran Duran raised me.
So, Britanny, why don't you tell the lovely people watching who you are?
Okay. Well, hello, lovely people. My name is Britanny Brown. And yes, as Josh said, I was on season 19 of America's Next Top Model. That might be where probably my most thing noticed from regarding modeling and whatnot. Oh gosh, it's been a bit since then. What a journey, what a ride it's been.
So, I mean, are you still modeling? Like, are you still involved in the scene? I know that you're helping out a lot of models that come through, like preview models, and you're doing a lot of mentor things, which is amazing. But how's the modeling industry for you?
Well, yeah, so I'm still I've had quite a few agencies off and on over the past few years. I'm still modeling more, I would say, print and commercial. Runway, yes, I'll do a bit, but I like helping out with the other side of it as well. And then I'm doing some acting classes and keeping up in the industry and that side of it as well.
Awesome. So is acting something that you're trying to transition into more?
Yes. So when I moved to LA, I signed with an agency out there for print and commercial. And then I did like the LA Fashion Week and all that. And then I was like found myself super interested in taking classes at Groundlings. I was there for a couple of years, got to do a couple of improv shows there. And then there's just so much happening when you're in that area. So I was like, oh, there's this acting class. And then I found myself producing a play that I did with one of my actor friends. So yeah, I think acting is definitely something that I want to keep continuing to pursue.
So tell us about your experience with America's Next Top Model. So you did the show. How was it being on that side of things, on the reality side of things, in that environment?
So I was 18 and oh my gosh, it was like my dream to go on America's Next Top Model. Like I grew up watching the show. I'm such a big fan of the show, and actually being there, surreal. The photo shoots are just as creative and wonderful as you see from watching. It's trippy when you're like, oh, there's cameras everywhere. And I want to cry right now when they're like, we got to get this. We got this good stuff right here. And I probably cried the most no, actually, that's not true. The girls have definitely cried more than me. But I was known as the sensitive Disney girl because I was in the Disney college program at the time, and it was college edition. So that part was like, oh, I'm kind of this character now. But
that makes sense. I mean, I know that you were into Disney, and we've talked about Disney because I take my daughter to Disneyland often, and
I'm like, oh, tell me what ride you're on.
I know. I didn't know that you were like studying it in college. That's crazy. I learned something today.
It was an internship, so you learn a lot about Disney when you do it. But yeah, it was like I didn't know what I wanted to do for college, so I was like, let me go take a semester and be at Disney.
And actually, I overheard this past weekend when she was working with some of the clients that she also that story.
So I was saying, when I did the Disney College program, I was auditioning and I learned so much about how serious they take it with characters and stuff. And I found out I'm too tall to be a Disney princess, but I'm just the right height for Tigger. And that was the closest character I got to the callback for. And then, yeah.
Wow. I mean, can you bounce around like Tigger then? I mean, was that how you cast for that?
I got to be careful. Disney is very, very strict
Yeah.
with what you can talk about too. Because they're an amazing company. They know what they're doing. And but yeah, it was quite heavy. So my little noodle arms were like in the best shape ever, like wearing that.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right. Well,
it's quite intense. It's quite an intense process to even go to an audition to work to be a character at Disney. It's
so I mean, in all reality, like you are an actress. You've been an actress. Like that's something that you are studying. So what was your journey like after America's Next Top Model? Like, did you get signed right after the show? Were you pursuing more modeling then, or like were you still interested in kind of both aspects, modeling and acting?
So after the show, it was I came back to Phoenix, and it was a huge buzz about it because it was the first season where you could talk about that you were on it because they were posting our photos online to be voted on. So when I came back to Phoenix, I was involved with Phoenix Fashion Week, and I think they were doing like a top 40 model search. I couldn't technically do it because you had to wait like a year for any other competition stuff after the show. But my sister did it, and I still went along and like did every photo shoot and runway show, and then got signed with the agency Arizona for like a couple of years, doing a lot more print work, commercial stuff, and then I moved to LA about a year after that or something like that. So.
How was the LA market for you?
That was good. I was signed with LA Models Runway for like a year. I saw so many agencies that I was turned down from. And then I signed with, I think it was like Bella's, like a boutique agency for print and commercial. And yeah, that's when I was doing I did LA Fashion Week like 3 years in a row, which was really cool. And then just keeping up with classes and trying to find my own niche in modeling, which I think I still kind of am because I like the more commercial stuff. So
like commercial print, you like doing commercial print?
Yeah.
I heard it pays the best.
I heard. Yeah.
You heard, you don't know.
Still waiting for that big, commercial break, but
that big commercial break. All right. So how important do you think it is to have representation? We ask a lot of our guests this as far as, people that have been working. We even ask agencies that have been on here. But it's good to get kind of like everybody's opinion because when we're on the road, we get that the question a lot of why do we need representation? Or, do you think that it is important to have representation when pursuing career level opportunities in entertainment?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I know you can self-submit and do things as much as you can, but until you're actually it's just going to be more connections. It's going to be things that networking is wonderful. I mean, I think that, but I think when you work hard and you can get signed with a nice agency, that's going to help you. It's going to, I think, open so many more doors.
Yeah. And on the topic of getting with agencies, a lot of the stuff that we do at Preview Models, right? We build resumes, working with different top models, working with different designers, national designers, working with different agencies as far as acting is concerned. I mean, how important would you say that is as far as, since the product, kind of what we do, how important is that for people starting off in entertainment?
I mean, super important. I remember first starting to model, and you don't know what you're walking into. At some people, it's like, I'm walking into my whole life's going to change tomorrow. Here I am, world. And it's like, oh, there's, it doesn't always work like that. You know, you're going to meet with many different people, many different agencies who are going to, you know, are you right for them? Are you what they're looking for right now? Are you prepared to be signed with them? What have you been doing in your free time to show that you're ready to be signed with a bigger named agency? You know, that I was hit in the face with that. I was like, CAA, here I come. And it's like, you got to get to work, girl. So
yeah, you gotta pad that resume a little bit more. Yeah, that's one of the things that we like to talk about as far as, you know, getting that experience under your belt so that you can really give this like a good shot. You know what I mean? You know, be competitive in national casting settings is important. It's important to have those notches on your resume, I guess we could say.
Right. And, you know, I love hearing the success stories of how someone got there. And it is different for everybody. But I mean, the biggest thing you hear is, you know, I didn't give up. I kept going with it. I kept putting myself in situations to network, to be around people, to grow, to expand, to learn. I think it's an ongoing thing.
And are you interested, I mean, as far as like moving forward, you know, throwing it out there, you know, me and Mr. Grumpy Pants over there, we've been working on a TV show, you know, making a model television show, and just getting some interest. I think it's going to be a really cool thing, and we're going to change some lives. Are you ready to be on it with us?
Well, I mean, changing lives, sign me up. That's what I'm all about, you know? Yeah.
That's what we do out here. That's what you're doing. You know, that's what you're doing on the road is you're really giving people a lot of, you know, insight, and you're giving people knowledge that, you know, hadn't had it before. And, you know, look at, you know, that you are doing a good job. So
I love you guys, seriously. And I'm just so happy to be able to like be a part of it. And I really love what you're doing and being around and seeing you, like what's happening on the road. The more I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, this is really awesome. Like you guys let me kind of have open floor for my time to be, you know, authentic about what I think, and people ask questions, and it's really cool to be a part of. So.
Well, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So I kind of have a 2-part question.
Well, I was wondering if you were going to talk at all during this interview.
Well, you know, Josh is still kind of learning how to have pauses in between his thoughts to let other people come in. But anyway,
that's what we're calling it. Oh, okay. So there's always some kind of excuse of when Peyton has something, right?
Yeah, I actually keep a nice little notebook of all of the excuses that are Josh Weinstein related next to me, just in case I forget any. But
wonder how long that list is.
Yeah,
it's probably a few notebooks long, actually.
That's accurate. So you mentioned that you got a lot of no's when you were shot. You know, a lot of no's. So this is the questions I have for you. Okay. So one, when you are hearing no's all of the time, how do you stay to keep yourself ready, you know, for when something finally does come around? And what do, you know, to keep yourself, you know, ready to work, ready to be competitive at a national level? What do you do? Yeah.
Well, I mean, when the no's start rolling in, I just grab my pillow, punch it, kind of scream into it, give a whole, you know. No. It can be very frustrating. It really can. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've had moments of being down and out about, and then it's, you know what, keep yourself, stay, like, what's the term I'm trying to think of? Like, keep looking for other agencies or other types of things that are out there, or maybe be more be easier on yourself of where you are. Like, it's almost like radically accept this is where I am now. Don't beat yourself up on it. Like, you're not going to jump from here to here in a month. We forget these steps that are crucial. And I think it's reminding myself that, and having fun while I'm doing this too, or what's the point? Remembering
that that's why I have fun all the time. What's the point? What's the point of living if you can't have fun all the time?
It's feeling the joy in that, you know, like, I want to love this too as much as it loves me. And pumping myself up for things, you know, keeping in that good headspace, because people are going to notice that as well when you walk into a room, I think. And if I've had a shit day, pardon my French, and I walk into an audition room and I could blow it the second I walk in that door.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just keeping yourself motivated. Not every day you're going to be 100%, but if you show up and you give it your all, then that still is 100%. So try to remember that.
Yeah, that's normally what happens to Peyton. He normally blows it when it comes in the door. But
what
why are you guys hating on each other so much today, more than usual?
Yeah, he was throwing a couple of punches in the last. It's flat like most of his jokes do anyway.
All
so
right. I don't think they were flat. I think people are laughing right now off their chairs. Anyways, back to reality here. What would you, Miss Britanny, say to a younger version of you, right? That 17, 18-year-old you, knowing all, like everything that you know now, like the knowledge of the industry, the do's and the don'ts, what would you tell your younger self when starting?
Oh, I would tell myself, this is good. I'd give that little girl a hug, and I would just, for real, I would say, don't listen to every voice that you like, or everything that's said to you. Don't take it too personally. I would say, remember why you started. Remember why you fell in love with this industry in the first place, and what you love about it, and what it brings out in you that you want to shine a light in others that you've discovered through all of this. Because I think that's everywhere in this industry. As tough as it can be, there's a lot of amazingness about it too. So remember that side of it, and just enjoy it and have fun. And as scary as it is, do follow your heart with it, because I think that's going to take you to the jobs and the work that you're meant to do.
I like that. I like that answer. That's what I tried to do. I try to follow my heart everywhere. And
we're Disney kids, we have to.
Yeah. And Peyton's always trying to tell me to live in reality, but I'm like, I'm following my heart.
Yeah. Resort gives me major anxiety. So there you go. Y'all love it. I don't. That's great.
He's a realist. He's a realist. I'm a dreamer. Yeah. He's the realist,
Every business is a good, not bad thing anyway. So you guys have that.
That's actually like how some of our phone calls go. Like I'll be like doing something and I'll think of something that just kind of came to my head like an idea. And I'll be like, And so then I'll call Peyton. I'll be like, so listen, I've been thinking.
And it's music to my ear.
and Peyton's will be like, oh great, here we go. Okay, what is it? It's the journey that we're on.
It's accurate.
All right, so Britanny, tell us, let's get back on the entertainment topic here. What are you doing now? Like, what are you currently working on? Are you auditioning right now? What's been up?
So yeah, back in Arizona, with Danny's agency out of Tempe. I'm in acting classes out here as well. More commercial auditions. The cool thing, Arizona just signed a nice tax incentive. So I've been seeing more auditions the past few months that I've seen like all of last year.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to be in Phoenix right now because I want to be part of this new energy vibe that's happening over here. So I'm working on that. There's a lot of room for growth out here. So I like that.
Yeah. Are you modeling out there too in Arizona? Like Phoenix Fashion Week, helping out there.
Yeah.
And then you're helping out with us with preview models. You've been actually doing a lot, right? You've been all over the United States, and now we're talking about going to Paris with you.
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? What? Yes.
So the commercial auditions that or are they primarily virtual?
Self-tapes, I'm seeing more start to happen in person.
Okay.
Which it's like once I started to feel like more confident with like doing self-tapes and getting them out there, it's like, oh, now more virtual, which I like in person better anyways. So but
more and more people that we've been speaking, hardly anybody in LA anymore. These virtual auditions are so important.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, I was curious, you know, just being in that market, if they're also doing virtual auditions. It sounds like
Yeah.
those virtual auditions.
We broke up a little on the last part of that.
Have you actually done some of the virtual auditions?
Yeah. So more of a self-tape, and then it's like, oh, if we want to see you again, I've had to do a couple of reads on a Zoom, which at first feels weird, but the more I don't know, you do it, it's just like anything. It's like this new world we're living in. But yeah, right. A few.
How do you prepare yourself for those auditions?
Definitely getting grounded, being where my feet are, feeling relaxed, because I want to show up and look good, but also feel good and have that come across on camera as well. I'm learning a lot with.
I think he wants to know more of like, how do you prepare for your auditions virtually? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you prep yourself?
Well, if there's sides, I want to be familiar with the sides, be off book. If they give you the sides the day before, that's more than enough time to be memorized. So when you go and do your audition, you look prepared and ready. I think just, knowing what I'm going to wear for the audition, knowing what's going to make me look best, planning ahead. So when I am pulled up to be on camera, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
How do you memorize lines? Like what's your technique in memorizing lines?
So I have a few. I've been doing this a bit, and I think I like to record myself saying them, and if it's a long thing I'm memorizing, I'll go to bed listening to it, and then I don't like to memorize the way I'm saying it. It's to get the words, and then doing it out loud over and over, listening to it while I'm saying it, and then repetitive. I feel like now I've learned to memorize pretty quickly. It's just taken time, but I think repetition, hearing it, matching, like listening to it as, I think there's a thing too. It's like, we memorize more what we hear over and over. It's like, how do I know the words to this song? Oh, I just heard it on the radio 85 times and I didn't even realize.
True.
So
Very true. My daughter listens to Billie Eilish and sings every word, but it's all that we listen to every time I take her to school. Dad, can we listen to Billie Eilish? I mean, I know the songs by heart.
Now you know. You're like,
so, yeah. But we actually had some of our other actors, tell us that they like to listen to it, and just understand like just the words, so that you can play around with the delivery of the lines.
Exactly. Because they might give you direction, and you want to be ready to take that direction, and not, it's like, this is what they said. Okay, let me take this in. Do it again for take 2 or 3 or whatever.
That makes sense. So how important is it for health and beauty in this industry? Like, what do you do to keep yourself fit?
To keep myself fit.
Yeah. What do you do to keep yourself in shape? What do you do, to make sure that you're at the top of your game?
The best version of you.
Well, living in Arizona, we are right now spoiled with our beautiful weather. I love getting outside and hiking. I just bought a new beach cruiser as well. Ooh. So I take that around. And for a while, oh my gosh, my bike like saved me during COVID. I was like made a goal to do like 30 to 40 miles a week. And then it was like, oh, this is nothing. I can do this so great. Like
on a beach cruising.
Yes. Which
Wow.
I mean, all through the neighborhoods and like there's canals and like gorgeous like views and stuff out here. So I like being outside. Swimming when it's warm enough. That's a big one. Pilates, yoga, meditation, things that are just make you feel good. Getting a sweat. I love sitting in the sauna. Yeah. Taking the dogs for a walk.
Sorry, my daughter keeps coming up to me wanting my attention while I'm doing it. No, I don't have a sitter. She's just here. She's here. But
Hi,
Kinsley. You make it come over here. All right. So yeah. So what else? Do you have any other questions, Peyton? That is
So just a random one. So out of all of your modeling experiences, acting experiences, whatever, like what's a story, crazy, interesting, intriguing, whatever that comes to mind? First thing.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, I feel like you've asked me this, and
I feel like I have before, like in another interview. So let's see what answer we get this time, and we'll roll back the other footage and see what that one was.
Again, I can't get over this because living in Arizona, which I've been talking about, I think I was 18, and it was a huge runway show that weekend. And the night before the big runway show, I got stung by a scorpion in between two of my toes. And I remember the whole next day, my foot was on fire. It was tingling. And people were like, are you still going to do it? Are you going to back out of the runway show? And I was like, no, like I'm doing this. And I even remember getting there and like, you're in your fittings. And I remember like, the designer, it might've been Bree Seeley, I think. And she was like, we're out of your size shoe. Can you squeeze in an 8? And I was like, I'm a 10. And she's like, I don't care. Put it on, and just shoves me out on the runway. And I'm like, you're not
with the stung foot. Wow. That's pretty good.
I was like, this is what it takes to be a model. Okay.
I'd like to see footage of that runway walk. Now that I know the behind the scenes, I want to see it.
We'll find that. We'll pull that up.
Yeah. And then and if you did a good job, which I'm assuming you did, that means there's like zero excuse for any of our clients not be able to have a flawless walk, right?
Yeah. Don't come at me with your shoes are hurting, or I'm going to come out with a story.
When I was your age, I got stung by a scorpion.
Wildlife got in the way, but I did not let it stop me.
And you're crying that you twisted an ankle. Get over it.
Yeah.
So what we want to talk about is photo shoots. I know that as a model, posing is very important. So how would you say that has helped you best prepare as far as how to understand your body, how to understand posing for photo shoots?
It's wild. The more that I do it too, I've realized I love getting into the creativity behind certain things, because if I just stand and I go over like pre-planned posing, that doesn't work so much for me. It's more of a flow of just, the certain things are more important, like chin up. Look at the difference of that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
How did you find your poses though? Like, did you just look in the mirror? Did you just like
music? I like music when I'm in a photo shoot. I remember I did a cool one with dramatic makeup for it was for a Halloween store. I might have sent you some photos for it. But I was listening to like spooky music and really getting into this witchy vibe. And I remember I was like swinging from this, like it was outside on the, there was a bunch of construction and stuff. And I was holding on to this bar and like swinging my legs and just letting the cape flow everywhere. And I love that kind of stuff. Just getting super into it.
That's cool. Yeah. Improvisational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So but like that's how you kind of like found your pose, would you say, or how would you like I mean, did you look at pictures of yourself and be like, I should have put my hand here instead of there, or should have done this better? Like, how was it for you to like find your pose?
I think for me, a lot of it comes from, like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but like an inner feeling, or an inner, like, is this more smoldering? And then I kind of live in that world, and it's more kind of crooked and edgy. And then, or is it more fun and more summer, kind of sexy swimsuits, like, softer, we're running through a field, like, knowing just the vibe of it, and living in the world of that.
Knowing the vibe of the photo shoot and kind of living in that world.
Yeah.
That's what kind of acting kind of comes into, a lot of the times we tell our clients, like acting, modeling, it goes hand in hand, which I mean, it really does. You have to act like a model, or you have to act like the photo shoots or the scenes or whatever it is that you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That, and I think being comfortable on set is a huge deal also. If you're comfortable on set, you can, pull all of that energy that you need to do that.
That's actually a great point. I remember, like, because if you're ever wearing something that you feel, more skin is showing, that you're kind of like, I have to feel very comfortable with it. Like, even if if it's kind of moody, or if it's a lingerie shoot or something like that, a lot more of your body is exposed, and it's feeling comfortable. I think the more kind of sexy you feel inside, that's going to totally exude. So feeling comfortable and confident, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's next for Britanny Brown? What is next? What's in the cards? What do you want to accomplish?
Well, I'm very excited for this new preview models journey to be a part of it. And
absolutely. Well, we are lucky to have you, and we're glad that you are working with us. Ready to change some lives and change the world with this program of what we do. And now Paris, offering international exposure. It's been fun. It's been a blessing, and I'm very thankful for the people that are around me. And of course, I'll say I'm very thankful for Peyton over there. I'm glad he's.
Oh, see, there's the love.
He knows I love him.
We got it on a recording too.
We're legally married. Actually, on paper, we're legally married.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a what?
For tax
Congratulations,
purposes.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. We had to get married in California. Now we're out here.
Well, wait,
headlines.
what? You didn't know?
We just made headlines right now.
I got ordained. Why didn't you let me officiate? Like,
I mean, there's always vow renewals, right? And we're definitely going to need those, let me tell you, because I have a few edits to make.
All right, you're 1 year. I get to officiate.
Exactly.
I believe it's 18 months.
It is 18 months. Yeah.
We're married. Yeah. We have a prenup.
That's what the prenup says.
No, but I'm glad that you are aboard. I'm glad for everything that's about to happen for us. I'm excited for, and I'm really excited for our clients. Like, I feel like we just the product that we're delivering right now is just second to none, and so many people are just getting so much from what we created, and also having like people like yourself on board, spreading that knowledge and insight to everybody. I mean, it's so valuable to upcoming models and actors to really learn and grow from people that have been in the industry a long time. So just know that you're doing a phenomenal thing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, if there was, something like this when I was 16, that would have been fabulous. So
yeah. Well, I mean, touch on that a little bit more. I mean, if this was around when you were 16, I mean, how much, I think how much more, or how easier would it have been for you to kind of like get into the industry, having the knowledge, the resume, and everything like that?
And for a little bit of foundation, this production that we just did in Hollywood, which was our March 2023 production, that was your very first one that you saw from start to finish. And so I guess this is also kind of like your first thoughts after seeing that also.
Yeah. Well, seeing what you guys just did at your LA runway show production, I mean, I was lucky enough to see it being built start to finish and all the work that went into the big show that you did. And it was fabulous. And I think every model there at first who seemed lost, they grew so much by doing that. And I loved seeing that. And then like I could see a shift in their confidence after the whole thing. And that was just, that was like brilliant to be able to
that's
see.
priceless. That's why we do what we do. You know, that's, you know, and we had over 256 callbacks to agencies so far from that group.
And 112 models.
Yeah, with 112 models, 256 callbacks. That's awesome. That is great. So
yeah.
Now
I just got like recording, taking my little videos and stuff. Like, oh yeah.
Now world domination. We're gonna go to Paris. We're gonna go to Europe. We're gonna go all over the place, and hopefully, you know, do this around the world. That's the goal, and take you with us.
That's amazing! Yay! I am so excited.
All right. Well, we're gonna get wrapped up here pretty soon. Mr. Payton, do you have any last minute thoughts or words or questions for the lovely Miss Brown?
Last minute thoughts. The only thing I have to say is I think that all of our current clients and all of our future clients are like very privileged that we have you on the team now. I've seen you, you know, the last couple of weeks start to come into the fold. And, you know, as I like to say, it's a fit. So yeah, big things coming for everyone. Anybody who gets to see you in their city is definitely lucky that you were able to make it out.
Amazing. I appreciate that so much. It makes me so excited to do what I love to. So let's do this.
Awesome.
Woo!
Awesome. Well, Brittany, thank you again for joining us. I know that, you know, we're just two crazy guys over here, but I appreciate your time today. I appreciate your knowledge, and yeah, I appreciate everything that you're doing with us. And I look forward to you know, a long relationship with you. And also Mr. Payton, I think, can agree. Is that right?
Agreed. Yes.
Look at that. See,
Yeah.
we're even agreeing.
You don't get those very often.
Oh,
so
we agree. That's great. But no, thank you again. Love you to death, and can't wait to see you in Texas next. Right? We're going to Texas together.
Yeah.
Yeehaw! Here we go. Yep. I'm excited.
Yeehaw! So that's. Yes, that's going to be it for it today. I hope you guys gained some amazing knowledge from the lovely Miss Britanny Brown. And we look forward to seeing you in a city near you soon. That's it for us today.